right, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully, this thing is not gonna sound as loud. The microphone. I realized that the mic was louder. I changed a little setting on the back of it. Although this computer is starting to make noise with the fan. But anyways, how is everyone doing tonight or today? I guess it's Saturday morning in a lot of places. I guess there's a lot of you guys from, well, look at that, from Guatemala. That's probably the same time, right? What is Surubaya? Where is Surubaya? I need a video on making a long-range electric bicycle from scratch. A video for beginners. Yeah, me too. I gotta build me one. Which, by the way, you're probably gonna need some of those batteries that I put in the thumbnail of this. These I just got 1,000 cells that I ordered that are the most energy dense that I've ever seen, and so there's gonna be more available, I think. But yeah, let me show them to you. Half of them are like, "Hello from the Dominican Republic." There's a video on YouTube about a 600 electric truck conversion. Yeah, a long time ago. You could do it. It's not going to be a very compelling vehicle. It's not going to go very fast. It's not going to go very far. But you could totally do it. Let's see here. I'm from boring Indiana, says Angela. Clicking this, hoping to see 3600 milliamp hour. Weren't still sold out. But no luck. Well, they're temporarily sold out. They're going to be more... They just run out of boxes. The weird thing is, Surabaya is a city in Indonesia. Okay. The weird thing is that they came, like half of them are brand new, and they come in the original boxes, but the boxes are kind of beat up. So I don't know what's going on. Check this out. This is one of the 10 boxes that I have, that I bought. Right? It's the original box. 2017, 10/06, 2017. I mean, these boxes are very new, right? A year old. And then INR 18650 M36T. State of charge is 30%. Let's see. And look at these. These are, I mean, they have tape. They have like glue residue here on the edge. But there's no sign. Come on. Come on, camera. Does it say? No? This dumb camera. They don't have a sign of spot welds on them. Let me get my thing to measure. Yeah. So the batteries are getting better and better. And these are, they're not, cheap per se, right? It's like 230, someone figured out like $260 a kilowatt hour. So they're not, they're not cheap. Not what we're used to paying or whatever. But, come on, man. But these are the most energy dense cells that we've come across, right? So, look at that, 3.55. So that would be about 30% state of capacitor, state of charge. 3.563. Okay, there's a little bit of variance there. Let's see. Come on. We'll do another one and then 3.56. Yeah, I think these cells are brand new. Like, for some reason, they were like maybe put into a pack, but they never got to the point where they, spot welded them, and then they just took them apart. They still had the boxes laying around, when the company went down or whatever happened to these. Whoever had and owned these boxes, but it seems like there's quite a bit of them. And I guess there's a lot of them that he told me that there's a lot of them that were already in packs, and when they're starting to take them apart, the blue wrapping here is starting to mess up. So he's like, yeah, maybe we can give this at a discount price. And I'm like, yes, sell them at a discount price. I'll buy some too. So anyways, these are going to be the first 1,000 cells that are going to make part of the brand new custom made battery pack for my Samba. I'm going to replace it, right? I have 48 kilowatt hours in my Samba right now. I'm going to go for something bigger. Maybe I'll be able to squeeze in the same amount of space and weight. Maybe I can do like 60 kilowatt hours, right? Because that would be great. That would be almost 300 miles of range. And so these will be the first 1,000 cells. Of course, I'm crazy, so I am going to mix and match, right? Because it's going to be a DIY pack. No problem. No problem. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Because I stopped doing. Let's see. Audio not paired with the video. Again? That's crazy, man. What did I ended up doing last time? I forgot what I do. I wonder if it's on your side, guys. Just restart your thing, see if that fixes it or not. Atlanta, Georgia, Barbados in the house, 11:30 p.m. here. Endless Fear for e-bike infos. What the hell is going on? What's up, Angelo? Send some to Canada, please. I don't know if they're gonna send some. I think so. By the way, I took a picture of how I received them. These guys are doing it also legit. They have the lithium stuff, you know, the stickers on them. They're using ground shipping. Are you going to the battery and hybrid show in Nobi or November? No, Nobi. There's one in September, right? I did contact them and asked them if I could get tickets to get in, and they said yes. But then I sent them another email asking them how, or whatever, and then they did I send them another email? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I need to look for that email and then answer them back. Yeah, no, they said like, oh yeah, it'd be great if we can combine our efforts to do some media, like something, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm down for that. And then I just haven't heard from them again. So I gotta bug them again so that I can go. That way, yeah, if any of you guys are going to the battery show. Where is that battery show? Does anyone know where the battery show is? Let's see. I keep getting the things on Facebook. Oh, let's take forever to open up Facebook here. Oh, and by the way, yeah, it's not going to come up when I need it, right? It's always showing it to me when I don't need it, but when I need it, yeah, it's not going to be there. Maybe I'll do a search. Battery show. There we go. The battery show, co-located. This thing is happening September 10 to September 13. Suburban Collection Show Place, Grand River Avenue. Where is that at? Show map. Tickets. Oh, find tickets. There's the thing. I need to get some tickets. Oh, in Michigan. Oh, yeah. Nobi. Oh, yeah, you're right. Nobi. Michigan. So if anyone's going to that, let me know. We can, we can party. Because those battery people, we know how to party. Let's see. Need a follow-up video on the DIY skateboard about how to charge the batteries. I bought all the parts. Oh, you have all the parts. You did it. Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to charge the batteries. I guess I did forget to add that part. I said I was going to do it later. Yeah, I will start making videos. I think starting, well, this next month is tomorrow. Damn, I know I'm not ready. I still have a bunch of stuff to do that. Yeah, but I think, yeah, sometime like at the beginning of this month, like if not this first week, the second week, I'm gonna hit the videos hard I'm gonna be coming out with a video hopefully every day. Yeah, I want to do at least 10 videos this month coming up. Uh, and they're gonna be a lot of those ones that you guys are waiting for. The ones for the PCBs, the testing of the batteries, the showdown of the 2170s or the 21700s, the peak shave power wall, all those videos. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And I've been, I've been doing all the pre-production, right? Like buying all the parts, getting all the things, all that stuff, as much as I can, anyways. As much as I can think ahead. J Discord shout. Oh yeah, send me that link again. I'll send it in there. By the way, those I'll look it up here. Did you get yourselves? Oh, I forgot. See, what did you say? Did you get? Wait, what? Good day. Wyla, South Australia. Wow, a lot of Australians in the house tonight. I am A, right? That's your name. Do I have? No. I am? How do you spell your? Oh yeah, man. I am dyslexic. And as you guys see, yeah, I type stuff backwards and stuff. Oh, here we go. There we go. By the way, for those of you who like using Discord, there's a group here that I actually, yeah, it's always on. Stays after we end up our live stream here. People keep talking and stuff. Shannon, did you get yourselves from Ali? Let's see. How much should I sell my batteries for? Whoa. So Jose, what kind of batteries do you have? What kind of batteries are you selling? And then we can tell you, how much you're supposed to sell them for. Jehu, where, says Shannon. Good night, everyone. Where is your quick voltage test glove? I'm supposed to have a glove for the quick test? You mean you're like something where I could just grab the cells or what do you? I don't understand that. Gaston, what do you use to spot weld batteries with? I built a fully controllable dual pulse capacitor discharge spot welder. A guy in California designed it. I don't have one of his DIY. I have just a little cheapy, Suco. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it's Suco. I have a link to all the stuff that I use to make my batteries on the kit.com website. You can look me up there. Hey. Who is this guy? Look at this. Hey. Hey, I'm talking to my friends over there. I don't know if you're embarrassing me here with my friends. These guys want to see you. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This guy is a terror. All day, every day. Sometimes he bites my face if I'm not careful. He bites everyone else's faces. Yeah, I just use that thing. Yeah, I'll have that link. Man, I need to have all this stuff ready. I need a moderator. Who wants to be my moderator for these things? Because then that way I don't have to, do this whole thing here where people are asking for all these questions and then someone could just be typing links and stuff. Be like, here you go. That's what he's talking about. Oh, by the way, and I do have a moderator, right? Island Times is a moderator. I mean, he's he moderates the comments in the links that people put on there. Island Times is always here. How's it going, Island Times? I got 1,000 plus of the 18650s with around 21 to 2800 milliamp hours. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, the 2100 milliamp hours are selling for $120 per boxes of 100, so about $1.20 each. Then they go up from there, right? I think maybe the 2600, so around 2600 milliamp hours. I think they're going for $1.50, $150 per box. And then the 2800 milliamp hours you can get a little bit more for that. You can get like almost like $2 or something. These ones that we just bought here are 3,600 milliamp hours, and we paid $3 for these. So these are, I think, about as high as they go. And then there are also, is there more? Um, I think there are more of those gray ones that we sold last week. They were what are like 3,200 milliamp hours? Yeah, these guys right here. The BDs, NCR 18650 BDs. These are 3,200. This one actually tested 3,500. They're testing kind of high because they're brand new also. And I think these were sold for $2.50, which is a great price. Very, very good price for those cells. They came not in a box like this, ready to go. They came in like, I guess everyone. I actually got some, or I'm actually getting some from the seller, but I haven't gotten them, so I didn't know that they were going to start shipping. I thought he was going to put them in boxes, or I thought he was going to package them, but I guess he didn't. He just shipped them in modules, so you have to kind of separate them and stuff. And yeah, last time I talked to him, he said he did have more of those, and then he was going to post some more. So the links, even though they were like kind of sold out, I think they were going to start working again. Same as the 3,600 milliamp hours. So those are the current prices on batteries right now. Anyone know if you can use Baytrum to charge Model S battery module? Yes, you should be able to use Baytrum to charge any battery. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't care. Let's see. Hey, oh man, it just jumped a bunch, right? Physics, people can't put links. I don't have the list of links, Jehu. Hit me up. Yeah, we will. I want 3,600 milliamp hours, just not that many. Well, yeah, because you don't want to do a big 3,000-pound car that goes 300 miles in a single charge. I do. That's my mission, so I want to get the highest capacity cells that I can get my hands on, of course, without selling my liver, my kidneys. Where are they selling them? Just go to mykit.com. The battery section right there, the last one there is the one with the 36 milliamp hour cells. Let's see, is it still sold out? View on thing. Let's see. Here we go. Here's the link to the batteries. What does it say? This item still sold out. Yeah, so he still has some sold out. I haven't talked to him. Hi, Jehu. I am an electrical engineer in my senior year, and we are doing a power wall that is affordable, can be used in countries that don't have access to power. Got the idea from your videos. Steve, that's pretty cool, man. I would love it if you join our Facebook group and you post, all your progress. It would be cool because it serves as, inspiration for the rest of us that we're building. The more projects that we see, the more ideas that we get and stuff. That's our Facebook group right there. It has been hacked. EVTV sells you more about them. Yeah, the Model S things, but I think you have to use the entire pack, as I remember, or as far as I know. I could be wrong, I guess. Has anyone used them super pouch cells? Not so. Yeah, I actually wanted to do some projects with those because there's a ton of them, right? They're a little bit, they're kind of hard to package or whatever, but yeah, I mean, once we figure something, I actually wanted to make a PCB. Now everything's with a PCB, but in fact, pouches have been put together with PCBs for a long time. All they do is they cut like slits on them, right? And then they stick the little tabs through them, and then they either screw them or they weld them or they solder them. Those will be hard to solder because on one side is aluminum, the other side is copper, so you'd be able to solder one side, but then the other you wouldn't. So yeah, because they have like little holes, we could probably make like little holes on the PCB, and then you stick them on the side. You stick the things, and then you like use another little thing. I don't know if it's worth it. We could try it to do that. But yeah, those are great cells. Um, yeah, let's see. 18650 stun gun. I have seen your videos regarding electric skateboards. Do you have a preference in cells when making a 10S 4P setup? So actually, the last one that I did, was it 4S or 5S? I think the one that I made was a 5S. I actually use NCR 18650Bs, right? 5, and so these will do like 2C, right? So when I did the math, I'm like, oh yeah, these will work. And I like them because they give me like 40 miles of range. It's kind of heavy, but then I realized that I kind of like my skateboards heavy because then they're stable, and because I'm not a good rider. So 3.6, right, times 5. So that's about an 18 amp hour battery, right? And I can run it around 2C. Yeah, so about 36 amps. So I think the board pulls like 40 amps on hard acceleration for a few seconds, and then after that just tapers. So yeah, I mean you don't even need, like, a lot of people use power cells, right? And by the way, 36 amps, it's a lot of power. What is that? 36 times, well, 36 volts, right? Yeah, 36 volts. That's 1,300 watts. That's a lot of power. That's like 2 horsepower. Well, 1.5 horsepower, something. That's a lot of power for a little board, and especially someone like the board doesn't even know I'm on it when it's going uphill, like at a really steep hill. It just goes, and so it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you're gonna do something like that, yeah, use some of these large capacity cells. You could totally get away with them, and then you get a ton of range. You don't have to charge your batteries, off as often, and let's see here. And yeah, they last longer. Have you done any videos on them 200 amp pouch cells? I did. I built like a skateboard with them originally. And then I haven't done anything else since then. Yeah, here's my dad. So I just told him that I found a tick on one of my dogs right here. He had one, so now my dad is going crazy because, of course, ticks are no good on dogs. We're gonna have to figure out how to cut it. By the way, what's the reason why people like don't just want to like grab some pliers and yank that thing out? Is it because it rips off and it leaves stuff there that gets infected later, or what's the deal? Why are people like using like stuff they give to the dog, like to drink, like medicine or whatever, and then it kills them from the inside out? If you guys have an experience in that, let me know. Look how many questions are being asked. I can't get to all of them. Where can I find a BMS for a 72 volt 20S pack? Well, that's kind of big. I'd say you use Batrium. 72 volt 20S. Yeah, that's quite a bit of a large pack. That's a good way to do it. Other than that, I mean, there must be 72 volt like e-bike or something, or motorcycle BMSs. But yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with those. So, Jehu, I still want to install a better battery in my Fiat 500e. Yeah. Do it. Get some Tesla modules. I think it's just a, as I remember correctly, I think the Fiat is like an odd number of cells. I think it's not like 96 cells. I think it's like 97 or something. Um, but you could totally do it with Tesla modules. They probably won't fit in the little boxes where they're made, but you could probably put them inside or make a box for the inside or whatever. Yeah, totally doable. I think if you might have to do some hacking or whatever. I got my skateboard with 10s 8P and moving to 10P. Wow. That must be well, but it's like an off-road, right? Because that's a lot of batteries. How do you? That must be a tank. Since I bought 2 Model S modules, I'm abandoning my 18650 project, and I want to sell 400 LG 2200 cells. If anyone is interested, there you go. More cells for sale, 2200. Let's see. What does it mean when the N is flashing on a light? What, the light of color? When the what? When the N is flashing. Oh, that means it's done. So you're ready to go. I have one flashing over there. Yeah, as you guys know, I bought this one on China. It's a Boston Power Swing 5300. This is one of the ones that is made in China for $5. It took a month from the time that I ordered it to the time it was delivered, and it came into 5,835 milliamp hours. 144. I didn't write here, but 144 milliohm resistance. So I don't know. People say that these are power cells, but I don't know. At 144, it seems kind of high. So then, let me see. This one says, look at that, 60. 5362. All right, this is one of the old ones that we have from the medical packs, and this is 5363. Let me write it on here so I don't forget it. 5363 and dash 60 milliohm. So this one is half the internal resistance, and this is a used one from the medical packs. So it's a little bit less, right? But I think we can get these ones a lot less when they become available, whenever you see those medical packs. They come in packs like this. Maybe not. Maybe they're not less, right? So I think there's like $50 each one of these packs, and they have 1, 2, 3, 15 of them. What is that? That's $50 divided by 15. Yeah, so $3.33. So yeah, these are less. The recycled ones are less than the Chinese ones, but maybe we can find them cheaper in China. Anyways, I don't know how I started talking about those. Where to buy Baytrium for Tesla Model S pack? Best deal. Well, there's only one way you can buy Baytrium. That's at the Baytrium website, which is they make that in Australia, so so you'll get the shipping from Australia. Let's see. So Timbo says because blood clots. So what happens to? So basically, yeah, what happens to that? Oh, so the head stays in and continue poisoning the dog. Ah, wow. Apparently, cigarettes work well. Just burn it. Rid of the body, but the head still can go in deeper. Yeah, break the head off. Lyme disease. Yeah, Lyme disease. Hey, by the way, Lyme disease, pretty nasty disease. I was like, man, this dumb dog, how long has that tick been in there? It's a tiny one. It's in between the eyes. It's right in a place where I can't check it. Usually I'm like, cutting the hairs and stuff, and it's fine, right? But it's like right there where I can't check because he doesn't let me touch his face to cut the thing. Um, we have paralysis ticks here. They kill animals. So use a tick removal tool. So I actually bought some of those tools, but there's like, they just seem like they're like a little thing. Like, almost like a thing so that you just don't grab it. But how does it pinch it a certain way that it'll just on a flick and tick killer? There you go. Ah, there we go. Let's see. So you do not want to break the head off. Really? Are you using the 3600 milliamp hour for your Samba? Yes, those are going to be batteries for my Samba. Those are the first 1,000 cells. I actually have another 300 coming. And then when they go back on sale, I'm going to try to get more. Yeah, I'm going to go broke here buying those batteries. But I think it's time. It's time that I actually do the Samba's battery, do a proper battery on the Samba. And then, yeah, that's gonna create a whole series of videos, which is hopefully is gonna be interesting. And it's gonna, hopefully in the long run, it's gonna pay for itself. So it's gonna be good. Any idea how to get cheap used 18650s in Europe? No. Haven't found cheap ways yet. There's been a couple of guys that pop in here and there. Someone contacted me with like 40,000 cells in the UK. Then I kind of shot back an email at them. I haven't heard back from them yet, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But if it does happen, then there's, about 40,000 brand new cells in the UK. Hopefully, he seemed like he just needed to get rid of them, and he needed, to recoup his money. So hopefully he would be interested in selling to us for, not a lot of money, at a good price. So if that happens, stay tuned. Might be 40,000 cells there, ready to be scooped up by all you guys in Europe. Will trying to trick a camper out into a gaming studio camper be possible? Thinking a gaming tower will use a lot of power alongside solar panels up top. Yeah, everything's possible, man, with enough money and enough dedication and willpower. You can do anything. It's just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the power. I don't know what the power requirements would be for something like that. I don't know what's a lot of power to you. Might not be a lot of power to us. You got to remember, we're like, I'm building electric cars that use like 80,000 watts, or possible of 80,000 watts, right? So that's a lot of power. Gaming, I don't know, a gaming computer or a console, how much power can that be? You know what I mean? Like, smothered tick in Vaseline. They can't breathe and back themselves out. Really? Oh, there we go. We have some Vaseline. We'll throw it in there. It's just like in there's like thick hair, and I was grabbing it. I'm like, what is this? And I was like, oh my God, is that what I think it is? No way. Did you get your brakes fixed on Samba? So I kind of did, but then they were still kind of spongy. So then today I got one of those vacuum little thing pumps where you stick it on the thing and then you just press it and it just sucks the thing into the little thing. I tried it again. I tried to do the dual circuit master cylinder, and I just could not do it. You know what? I actually got some caps for the two cylinders, and so I bench bled it, right? Where I put a thing and then I put caps on them, and then I try to press it. Yeah, and it pressurizes. Like, there's pressure there. So I'm like, okay, great. So it's not a bad master cylinder. Somehow in the lines is losing pressure somehow, right? So then I left the caps on the one cylinder, and I just connected like the front brakes to it, and then I try to bleed them, right? And I couldn't. It just doesn't work. Like there's something wrong with those lines. There's something wrong with those. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. Maybe I just don't know how to do brakes. And the single circuit are just like so much easier, I think, than the double ones. So I just don't. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna put the single one on there, get it working right, and then I don't know, take it to a shop and then see if they can put it on. If not, then I'll just give up and leave my single circuit master cylinder. I don't need one of these things that are super hard. What happens if? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's crazy. I don't want to have to every time I do a work on the brakes be like, I don't know how to bleed these things. Do they ship themselves to Australia without selling on a leg and an arm or an arm and leg? No, they can't. So yeah, there's a lot of restrictions on lithium, especially I think by the Australian government. So you can't get them in there. Uh, Prof 420, I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Yes, I appreciate you too. Thank you for all your support. Island Times. Uh, no, pull the tick out by the neck. It's a twisting motion. Oh, what? Let's see here. Do you know why Anker does their portable chargers in 2S configuration? I wonder what do you mean with that? I have an Anker one. Where's my Anker one? You mean these guys? Hi, this is an Anker one. Hey, what's up? What is going on? You like the Anker one? Do you? Huh? Yeah. Ow. Ow. Hey. Your nails are sharp, man. Get out of here. Oh, yeah. Here's the other guy. Yeah, so I wonder if you mean these. Do you mean these? I haven't actually... Oh, this one's kind of dead. I haven't used this one in a while. 2S configuration. So you're saying 2 in series or 7 volts? Well, I think it's probably because it's a lot easier to make 5 volts from 7 volts. So you step the voltage down instead of having a 1S or anything higher. I mean, I think on the higher ones, it probably makes sense to go more in series and get a higher voltage because the other one that I have will actually do like 20 volts or something. Let's see. Yeah, this one right here, this is not an Anker one, but I think Anker probably makes something like this now. And this is essentially 8 cells. I think these are probably in series. Oh man, this one's also low. I gotta charge this one. Because the Type-C, USB Type-C here will do up to like 19 volts. It will charge my laptop here at about 19 volts. So it would be really inefficient to go from like some really low voltage to like 19 volts. So it might make sense to like run them the 8 cells here in series and then just step down from there. I think that's a more efficient system. But yeah, I wonder if that's what you're talking about. I'm new to the whole Powerwall DIY battery pack thing. I just bought 288 cells, but they are 26650s. Is there anything important to not between the 18650s? Yeah, no, they're the same thing. They're just larger cells. You just got to make sure that what chemistry you bought because they're available on both sizes with both chemistries or more than 2 chemistries actually. Although the 2 chemistries that you gotta look at are like the 3.7 volt chemistries, which are like there's a bunch of them, slightly different chemistries, but they're all 3.7, so they're like I grouped them into one. And then there's the lithium iron phosphate, and I call those the lithium cobalt oxide chemistries, right? But some have manganese, some have whatever. But the one you gotta watch out is the lithium cobalt oxide because that one's like a 3.2 volt. So just gotta make sure and know which chemistry you got. and then test your cells. I mean, if they're brand new, I guess you don't have to test them as much. I would still running like these 1,000 that I got. Half of them seem new. I think I'm just gonna run them all through the chargers here and put them there, and then just cycle them at least once, see what they put out, and then still ride on them. You know, depends on how many GPUs you have in the system. CPU usually 85 to 130 watts, and high-end GPUs 250 watt hard drive, 15 watts SSD, 2 watts. Average gaming system is 500 to 700 watts. Wow, yeah, that is quite a bit of power. Yeah, I mean, if you're 5 hours of that, you're talking about a couple kilowatt hours, 3, 4 kilowatt hours, just for system or whatever. Yeah, that's quite a bit. And I'm in a power outage now. Thank goodness for inverters and batteries. Got the Wi-Fi and lamp working. I'm good. Wow, where are you, Soggy B? Where is this power outage happening right now? Island times that suck, man. I have never done. Okay, so let's see. Hilario Garcia says, I need a little advice. I'm an electrical engineering student. I'm trying to get ideas for my senior design project. I have a year before I get started on it, but I was just wanted to get a head start. Oh, I mean, oof. Yeah, do a power wall, do an electric vehicle, do an electric skateboard, an e-bike, a solar e-bike, or a solar skateboard. There you go. Those are cool projects. I think that would work. Do a DIY. Okay, here's what you do. Do a DIY car, electric car connecting robot, right? So like the one that Tesla made, it's like a snake or whatever, and it just finds the thing and it connects the car. Do a DIY version. I mean, there's this kind of DIY version, right? But yeah, do one of those. Uh, something that will like tackle the whole thing, the visual of the car, and it's like, okay, here's the plug, and then it'll zero in, and then it'll go in there and it'll push it. That's a cool project right there. It'll get you some notoriety. What is that? You say notoriety? Yeah, whatever. So Nathan says, yes, I took mine apart to use the PCB out of it so I could take it camping and charge my phone about 40 times. I got 2 of them, and there was 2S, 3P. Yeah, 2S. Yeah, so 2S is because, it's just, it runs more efficient at 2S at 7.5, 7.4 volts on that. In your 1 kilowatt hour power wall, what BMS system did you use? You didn't mention what it was, and no link in the description. Yeah, so I was using at that time a Batrium system. And so I had it plugged into that system and then to the rest, because all my batteries were 10S at that point. But now I've actually sold all those batteries just last week, and I use that money to buy some of these batteries, and I'm going to be changing all that. This next new one that I'm going to do is going to be a 7S or 14S. 14S. I think I'm going to do both. I'm start with like 24 volts, then use like 24 volt inverters, and then after that I'm going to move on, put a couple of those, reconnect them in series, and then do 48 volts, and then use 48 volts inverters, and then that way I can kind of hit both of those voltages that are the 2 main voltages with the same PCBs that we're making. Yeah, but Batrium is the BMS. Yeah, this camera is not the best. I actually, so I don't know if you guys remember from last time, I told you the story where I lost my camera into the ocean, and so they're gonna get I am gonna get a new one. The insurance is going to replace it. So I guess anytime now I'm supposed to like get a call or an email or something from the store where I bought it, and then I'm gonna get a new GH5. It's a $2,000 camera, and it's a lot better than this one. It looks a lot better. I think, yeah, everything's better on it. So let's see. Try YouTuber Chris Fix. He has a lot of DI break videos. Oh, really? Chris Fix? I might have to. I might have to take the card to him so he tell me how to fix it. We can make a video about it. Oh yeah, here we go. Island Time sent he sent a link for the oh, I see. Wait, so you grab it in there. Oh, and then you like twist it. Oh. So then what happens? You twist it and it doesn't like it or what? It's better than if you just like cut it, right? Like you don't want to cut it because then the head stays in there. Is that what's happening? It's the order in which you bleed the brakes. Everyone always says to start with the furthest first, but try the closest first. So I did that. I mean, yeah, I've been trying everything. I tried doing, in sequence from the farthest back forward, then right, and then what I did is someone told me, oh, you got to make sure your pads on your drums are adjusted correctly, because if they're back down too much, right, there's a lot of travel, and so what happens is that there's a lot of pressure that gets lost while it's trying to make them go. And I did notice that the new dual circuit master cylinder, the throw is a lot like lower than the original one. The single one, the pedal is like travel is like a lot, right? It's like goes from here all the way to there, all this space to build pressure, right? And then it usually stops somewhere in the middle, and and it's usually hard. Right now, it's kind of like it was kind of spongy or whatever because I had air. Turns out, but the new one, it's like it's less travel. So I think the distance of the actual circuits is less. So you have to have like the brakes adjusted very well in order for them to pressurize, or else they're not going to pressurize. But still doesn't explain why it doesn't work when I plug the back, the one circuit that is supposed to be for the back, and then I'm just going to do the front because the front are the discs, so they have less travel. I've tried a bunch of things. I'm ready to give up on them. I can't find the PCB in them anywhere else, so I buy the $40 salvage. The sells for smaller projects and then connect them up to my 25R new 18650. Oh, I see. You can't find that PCB anywhere else? Like, what does it have? I mean, doesn't it just, unless you're doing something like me where you're using a Type-C, USB Type-C, aren't just regular, like, for regular USB ones, like, available everywhere? Someone gave me $5. Adam Rusak, thanks for the advice. Have a coffee. I mean, thank you for that. Thank you for the coffee. Johnny Sanieski says, let me clear it up. I have a Samsung 20R that is only holding 1500 milliamp hours. Could I put that battery in a pack with Samsung 15R batteries? Or is that battery too far gone to use? What's the Samsung? I'm not familiar with those cells, so I'll have to look them up. So a Samsung 20R, you said, right? Let's see, what's a Samsung 20R? So Samsung 20R, it's supposed to be 2,000 milliamp hours, right? And you say that it's got 1,500 milliamp hours. Is that too much? Is that too far gone? Is that 70% of the original capacity? Well, that's 75%, right? Because it's three quarters of the original capacity. I mean, no, I wouldn't say it's too far. But then you're trying to use them with 15 Rs. What's the 15 Rs? So 15 Rs are actually 1500 milliamp hours, I bet. No? Oh yeah, there we go. 1500 milliamp hours. But that's 25 amp. So you can use them in series, right? Like you can use one 125R that's degraded to 15 milliamp hours, and then in series with a 15R that it's 1500 milliamp hours. So basically, it's got zero degradation and can do 25 amps or whatever. That's a high power cell, right? You can't just do that because then obviously the weak cell is gonna die. One that's already at 70% of degradation, right? It's on its way out. It's considered a dead cell already because it lost it. It's at 75% of the original capacity. But you could do, if you, let's say that you wanted to do a 36 volt pack and you had 10 of those 25 Rs that are 1500 milliamps, right? So you could use them, pair them with 25 Rs, right? So there's two pairs now. There's a degraded cell that is at 70% of the original capacity together with like a new cell or something like that it can push a bunch of power, right? So those two now become one cell. When you parallel those, it will become one cell, and the specs will be the combined specs of both. I mean, within reason. So the capacity will add up, right? And then the ability to push power will add up a little bit, but not 100%. I don't think like if the weak cell can push 1 amp and the strong cell can push 20 amps. I mean, yeah, you can say that then that pack can do 21 amps output. Of course, it doesn't quite work that way when you put like uneven cells like that. Even in parallel, the stronger cells will push out more of the power that it's needed. Then the weak cells tend to kind of hold back and not do as much as the work. The weak cells don't do like 100% of, and so what happens is like at 50% of state of charge, if you disconnect them, you check the state of charge on both of those batteries, and you will see that the strong cell, it's at a lower state of charge than the weak cell. Even though they were connected in parallel. I did that, in large scale with my bus. I had two big battery packs, and there were two different chemistries, and I did that. I ran them hard to about 50%, state of charge, and then I disconnected the two packs, and then I checked the voltages on them, and yeah, it's like only one part of the pack was pushing at the beginning of that discharge cycle, and then halfway through that discharge cycle, the other pack would take over, right? Because there are different characteristics, there are different chemistries, they're completely different cells, different. But on this case, they're like similar chemistries, right? The specs are different, so they can't push the same amount of power. So yeah, basically, you could do it, but only you do it that way. You can't just do like one weak cell like right next to like strong cells. That you'll kill that weak cell in no time. First time that you use it. Those rad power bricks are legit, says DJ Duke. They better be. I paid $100 for this thing. 100 watt hours right here, which means they're 3,400 milliamp hours. You know what? Though, I could take this apart and then put 8 of these guys. Huh? Put 8 of these 3,600 milliamp hours. And I'd have over 100 watt hours. It'd be illegal to take this on a plane. But I ain't telling anyone, right? I'm not going to tell them. Anyways, yeah, I would, the energy density on this, I would overclock the energy density. I don't know, that's not a right term. All right, let's see. If it has old rubber lines, it could be broke down internally, blocking the line intermittently. Also, they can be swelling, simulant error in the lines. Yeah, I guess it's possible. Oh my God. Quick break. I'm going to change the camera's battery. Where is this thing? Quick break. Be back in a second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Where were we? What were we saying here? Let's see. Um. Oh yeah, if it has rubber lines. So I guess I am gonna change everything. And then I found different problems now. There's like a plate that holds the car, like one of the, suspension plates. It's broken. It's breaking. So now I realized that's why my bus was riding like kind of like sideways. So good thing I was messing around there. I found that out that before it's like catastrophic failure, and so I'm gonna order some new of those plates. And so yeah, I think I'm just gonna redo. Maybe I just redo the transmission again because it's leaking all over the place. It's like, oh my god, it's just. I was trying to like just patch it up, but now I think I'm just gonna friggin' end up redoing everything. I mean, I'm changing the battery, right? Why not just go crazy and just redo the whole car now? Okay, hi Jehu. I was having a question for you. I'm rebuilding an e-bike battery with LG MH1s, 10 amp max cells, and I bought a 15 amp fuse to use in the battery. Do you think it will be good and safe? Yeah, it should be perfect. I mean, yeah. So fuses are supposed to be between between normal use, right? Like normal, like peak use, and fire. You figure out where fire and melting of the cables is at, wherever that level's at, and then where your maximum peak power is going to be, and you just put it right on top of that, like in between those two, right? Uh, and so basically, you won't blow your fuse under normal use, even when you're like stepping on it hard or whatever. But it will blow past that point right before it reaches melting every cable and catching fire. 15 amps sounds good. I mean that's good. If your pack can push 10 amps and you have a 15 amp fuse, you'll be fine there. Let's see. Contrast to bottom balancing. Contrast to bottom balancing. What does that mean? Is 2600 milliamp hour 18650s a good for 48 volt 1200 watt e-bike battery? Yeah, I mean, they're good. It just depends what size of battery you're gonna make. 48 volt doesn't mean anything if you said a 3 kilowatt battery, kilowatt hour battery, or a 5 kilowatt hour battery. Then you just have to make sure how much battery you need, and then how many cells is gonna take at 2600 milliamp hours per cell, and then you figure out that size and weight, and if that fits in your frame and your vehicle and whatever specs that you're trying to fit, then yeah, that's what's gonna determine that. But yeah, 2600, that's energy dense. That's right there in the middle. In fact, I was considering doing the bus with those. In fact, that's what I have in my bus, 2600 milliamp hour cells right now. I just want to make it better. I don't have to make it better. I think I could use 2600 milliamp hours, and it'd probably be less. You could probably get twice as much battery for the same amount that I got these here. But, I'm capped, right? Like, once I fit every space available that I have on my bus with batteries, then whatever, range I get, that's all I get. But if I can put the highest ones that I can get my hands on, then at least, well, that's the most range that I can have, right? Let's see. Any good deals for Samsung 25-hour batteries or any other high-end batteries? So the ones in the UK are Samsung 25 hours and 30 Qs. Samsung 30 Qs. Stay tuned for that. If they become available, if that guy comes back and tells me that he can sell them and that he can work a good deal for us, boom, there's going to be more, a whole pallet full of them, of each one. So I just blew 568 Australian dollars on another 48 off 10 amp headways. What? Clicking stuff on eBay is far too easy. So you bought more headways. Wow, the 10 amp ones. Okay. Why would you do that? You need more battery? Is that what? Just make sure they are power cells, meaning they can deliver 20 amps of current and more. Johnny Saniescu, thank you for the $2. You're building a 36-volt e-bike battery. That's cool, man. Let's see here. The supplier is only 20 kilometers from me. I can post if you work out the logistics. Wow, look at that. Island Times is making deals with batteries. That's pretty cool. Andrew Wade, BMS recommendations for EV, DIY EV. So you can do Batrium, or you can hit up EV West. They have a BMS system that I need to get my hands on and just try it out. Maybe that's what I end up putting on my bus, on my Samba, right? For those of you who saw the TV pilot for that, show that we did, you saw that we used that BMS on the what was it? On the 356, on the Porsche 356 Speedster. So I think they're using them on a bunch of cars now. They have some experience, so I think they worked out all the bugs. So I think now they're pretty good. So I think I'm gonna hit up Michael and see if I can get my hands on one of those so I can test it out, do some tests and stuff, and then show you guys how to use that. That one's set up more for an EV, but I think we'll be able to use those for Powerwalls too. Jehu, when are you next going to see Tom? I don't know right now. I know he was like doing stuff with Javier this week, and then I'm not sure, but hopefully before the end of the year, we'll get to do some stuff with some projects together. I know he's got a lot of batteries that I can make projects for, and then we can build some stuff with them. So just to add something, my battery is 18S10P with LG MH1, so 15 amp fuse on every cell will be okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what size of battery. So are you going to build it with like cell level fuses? Is that what you're asking, or you're saying a fuse at the very end? Because you're doing 10P. So you're talking about 15 amps. Yeah, so 150 amps, right? Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the cell level fuses, yeah, you can do 15 amps on those. If you're doing a pack fuse, then yeah, you'll have to do like a 200 amp fuse or something like that. Let's see. Whoa, it just jumped right here. Where are the questions? Going to sleep, says Beal Matt. Can't take my eyes open any longer. For e-bikes, they have 2-wire and 3-wire BMS. Which do you think it's a better option? Man, I don't even know what the 2-wire or 3-wire is. What's the 3-wire? You're saying 3-wire? 3-wire? So there are simple ones, right? Like there are ones that just connect on the negative side. I have some of these. Look. So these are like pretty simple. Oh, these are. So would these be considered 2-wire? And then you're saying there's some other ones that are 3-wire? This is a 2-wire, right? Because it's got 2 connections. Basically, it's just a switch. All the cells get connected here. And so this monitors each one of the voltage of each cell. And then when everything's okay, when all the voltages are within range, then it turns on the MOSFETs, which connects this guy to this guy. And then you connect this. This is the negative side of the battery pack. It's a pretty simple device, really. It's just a switch. And it turns on and off according to whatever the individual cells are doing. 10, what is it? 7 cells. This is 7 as well. So I think the one you're talking about is another one that's got 3 wires. And I think that the 3rd wire is just to actually have a charging input, which also will. So, oh yeah, so basically it has, I guess, maybe another MOSFET maybe that controls it. It can turn it off if any of the triggers are met, right? But I find it kind of redundant because the same thing is going to happen with this one, right? So with the two wire one, if you connect the battery pack on this side and you connect the charger and the load on this side, it doesn't really care. It doesn't even know. This one doesn't even know which way the power is flowing. If it's flowing into the battery or out of the battery, it doesn't even care. It's just a switch. It just cares that the criteria, right? The parameters are met within each individual cell voltage on these cables. And so in this case, you wouldn't need to have a 3rd one to. I still don't know what that 3rd one does. The charging one does. I don't understand why you would need that because, well, no one needs that. I mean, I'm kind of dumbfounded by that, but I don't know enough. I haven't played enough with them to know. But I know the 2-wire ones, you don't need a 3rd one. You can just connect the load, your motor or whatever it is that you're using, and the charger on the same input for the for after. So basically, the battery pack is here, then the BMS is there. So after that, you connect the charger, and the energy flows back, and you overcharge any of the batteries, then it disconnects the MOSFETs, and then there you go. Hopefully that helps. I hope that's the thing that we're talking about, 2 or 3-wire. James since the 70s says, I've only have a little over 718 on the Boston cells, ABD 26650s. I have had best luck with LG 2200 and 2600 cells. The LGs, huh? Are all those recycled, refurbished, repurposed? Or you're getting some new cells in there? It might be the rear brakes, says this old tech. Well, no, it can't be the back brakes because I totally eliminate them, right? So I disconnected the back brakes and I put caps on the master cylinder just to pressurize that circuit. And then I plumb the front brakes and then I try to let them and pressurize them and stuff, and it just nothing happened. I like do the thing here and press the pedal, it just doesn't pressurize. I don't know what's happening between the line there and then the wheel. It's not like a 3-foot line. Yeah, and it goes copper. I mean, it does copper. It does like solid line, and then it goes into a soft line that then goes into the disc brake. What's happening? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. You have to adjust them so the cylinder does not have to travel as far. Rear brakes should be adjusted till they are just some contact. Yeah, so basically, someone else suggested that, but of course that doesn't help. That doesn't work because I isolated the front ones and it's still I can pressurize them. So All right, so it just jumped again. What's the model of that BMS that your hand? That's one that I'm contemplating using for our PCB boards. It's available everywhere. It's 7S. It does 20 amps, and my plan is to actually use several, like 3 of these, so that we can do like 60 amps off of each one of these boards. I'll send you the a link to it here. Come on, man. Where are my kits? Yeah, and I want to use that one because it's everywhere, basically. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them on eBay. It just seems like that's the one that everyone is using for everything, and so they're cheap. I think they're like $6. So, you know, that's another thing. Yeah, you'll end up using 3 of them or whatever. But if it breaks or one burns or whatever, you just take it out, replace it with another one. So that's that's the idea. Anyways, I don't know if they might end up being so terrible that I'm like, forget this thing. It doesn't make sense to buy something cheap that you have to keep replacing all the time. Better get the expensive one that works. I was going to build Powerwall for my Nissan Patrol for long trips. Yeah, do it. You could do it. What is your overall opinion on the Headweight 38 120 load capacity? And when running them, what BMS would you recommend? Yeah, so I don't have a BMS recommendation for that. I have a couple of high power BMSs here that I haven't tested. So until I run some tests, I really haven't tried anything other than the big BMS or these little ones, right? Nothing in the middle there. What is your overall opinion on the Headweight 38 120 load capacity? So I don't know if you know, I made a video about that. I tested them here. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, or you're talking about, that's what you're asking, if I made one or if I had any experience with them. I was browsing eBay at work today for 18650 cells and came across several listings for 9800 milliamp hour cells. Am I crazy in thinking those are complete BS? Yes, those are complete BS. They don't exist. Those are just Chinese people putting, crazy numbers to try to impress people that don't know any better. It's the 3 for a switch. Would solar panels for the Samba be a good topping up a charge? Yeah, they would work, except you'd need sizable panels to do it, and I don't think they're. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they're not practical, right? So you have to do a bunch of work to install them so they can look pretty and they can look good. They won't fly away. Definitely don't want to get like one of these flat panels on top of my bus. I respect the design of my bus too much to do that to it. And then for the amount of energy that you're gonna get, it's like all that work, all that expense, just for a few hundred watt hours, a day that you're gonna get. It's like, forget it. Why do it? The third wire is for the new Batgoat technology that can store battery history. Oh, really? But he's asking about the BMS. I don't need BMS on new 38 120s, says Island Times. Yeah, you could definitely run stuff without a BMS, but you gotta kind of know what you're doing. They are lithium iron phosphate, but they do die instantly if you don't have them balanced correctly and then you run them low. I've done that. I have a couple of bricks here that I killed like this, right? By connecting them the first time and then running my bus. It's like before I even had a charger, I'm like, oh, let me go around the corner. This thing runs, This is my first ride. And then I came back and they're like a few of the cells are like bloated and stuff. And I'm like, oh, what happened? That's it. Those cells were done, completely gone, because they were empty. They were discharged, right? And so I ran current through them, and you're not supposed to run current through a dead cell. So So yeah, that's where a BMS would have saved me. But you know, at that time there weren't any good BMSs, so I had to learn that lesson the hard way. And it was only a couple cells, so it's no big deal. The MOSFETs may only flow current in one direction, and the BMS protect on charge and discharge. I guess that could be true on advanced BMSs. These are they're pretty simple. There's the little circuits on this side that record individual voltages for each one of the cells, and then there's the bank of MOSFETs here. So this one doesn't even know. You need a shunt, right, to be able to detect which direction the energy is flowing. That they don't have that. I can't find one in here. So these ones don't do that, but maybe one of the more advanced ones will. Let's see these guys here. Oh, check it out. Here's one with 3 cables. So this one, it's a 3S BMS. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. Wait a minute. There's more over here. No, there isn't. No, these are just. They just. Wait a minute. How do you connect these? 1, 2, 3. It's 4 cables. I don't even know. I can't think of it. I guess I'm gonna have to look at the little thing there. And I have a 3S, and then I have a 4S. Here's a 4S. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Wait, so the same amount of cables. How does that work? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. All right. Max is like 3600 milliamp hour for 18650. That's correct, sir. We have them here. If you want to buy some, there's gonna be some available. That's of course if I don't buy them all. Take them all because you're competing against me for these. 3600 milliamp hours. That's the highest you can get. Anything higher than that is just a bunch of BS. Mega Fire. 40, what's up? P MOSFET and MOSFET. So will you ever do a project using Nissan Leaf batteries modules? They are around $150 a kilowatt hour right now. Ooh, okay, so they're actually coming down in price. That's the number one reason why I never have bought any, just because they're like overpriced. People want like $100 for each one of these little modules, which it's like, come on, that's too expensive. Why are they so expensive? Just because they come in this little, tuna canister. But I did see that they were lower. I was tempted. Of course, I have to get some of the other projects done before I tackle that one, but I think I will because they're becoming more abundant. At least Eric and his company basically start acquiring them because I see them there now and they're selling, but they're still kind of selling them kind of high because I think just they look at what everyone else is selling them, and so they're like, well, that's the going price, so I think that's what they put them. But then they're gonna see that no one is buying them, or hopefully, I don't know, that no one is buying them at those prices, and then they're gonna go down. Your dogs think you're reading a bedtime story. Pretty much, I think so. They're like, what is this guy talking to his computer all the time? What's going on? Let's see. Would like to know your thoughts on the red wrap Sanyo cells. Many have issues with cells heating up. What has been your experience with them? Are they a waste of time? Wait, didn't I do a video about them? And by the way, I genuinely don't. Did I do a video, or did I owe you guys a video on them? Because I bought a bunch of them, and I did some tests with them. Let's see. I think I did a video on them. The red Sanyos. What's it called? Let's see. Come on. Videos. Yeah, worst cells. This is one of the last videos that I did this month. Copy. Yeah, check out this video here. I named it the worst cells that we can use. And I just kind of ran some tests. I ran through how much they cost. I ran out how, I tested them, how many were good, how many were bad, all that stuff. So yeah, definitely look at that one in there. Doing what was the only way to bleed the brakes on my dad's 93 Ranger. Doing that was the only way to bleed the brakes on my dad's Ranger. What did you say before? Luis Alberto Serrano Alfonso. Man, you took all the names, man. Going back into the system. Then what did you say? Fit the tube through the hole and into the fluid inside the bottle. That way, when you bleed the brake, the fluid will flow into the bottle, pushing out bubbles, and you don't have to worry about air. Yeah. So I've done that like different ways. So I actually made a canister, and then I put fittings on there, and then I put my compressor, right, and then like with my regulator, and I inflate or I pressurize it to 10 pounds, 20 pounds, and then I made on the other side, I made a fitting to put through the little valves, and so I actually pushed the brake fluid from the wheels, from the bleeding valve, all the way to the master cylinder. And I did that on all four wheels, right? So there's like zero air in the system because I pushed it, all the way when it's empty, all the way till the, I basically filled the system that way. And then I closed everything up, and then I got a thing, and nothing, no pressure, zero pressure whatsoever. And then I did it the other way, right? So the latest one that I tried was a vacuum one, which is at the coming home. Anything? No. Let's see. I'm good. And then at the wheel, what I ended up doing was actually using a little vacuum pump. So you connect it on the bleeder valve, and then you pump it, and then it sucks air. So then you fill the reservoir, and then you suck it that way, right? But I went like almost like a whole bottle, and the air. Well, that should be a thing that tells you there's a problem because the bubbles kept coming out. So the bubbles just never stopped, and I'm like, where is all this air coming in? So there's a leak in the system, but I don't know. It's weird. I can't believe this is beating me. Like, it's a simple thing to do, but 100 likes and the dogs get active and risky. Let's see here. Oh, can't go to sleep, says Bill Map. Forgot I'm charging 12 Lidocawa cells with Chinese B Max charger. I'm going to need to keep my eyes open till they are charged. Yeah, I used to worry a lot. When I was charging a lot of batteries, I was like, oh man, should I disconnect these, before I go to bed? But then, now I just don't care. I have actually never had a battery catch fire on the chargers. And I used to have some of the super cheap chargers that would actually kind of overcharge the batteries to like 4.3 volts. Nothing bad, right? Nothing too bad. James says, I have 4 red no-name cells, good capacity. Tom doesn't know what they are. They surprise to be Samsung or LG, but I got these. I wonder what they are. Just finished rewiring one of my lithium modules, got the wiring cleaned up and everything tight and ready to be put into the box I built. Post pictures so that we can see your box. Reverse bleed, it might still have trapped air inside the caliper or wheel cylinder. Yeah, there's air somewhere. It's not pressuring. Burnaby Alex says, having had old cars before, I had cars with bad cups in the cylinders, bad master cylinders, and cases where you had to be, or you had two bad cylinders at once. Sometimes you need to take it to a brake shop. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at because it's like nothing that I'm trying is working. And short of like changing everything, which by the way, it's not out of the question. It's not a really expensive system, right? I mean, the master cylinder was like $100, but then I'm like, well, there's a $300 master cylinder, so maybe that's why I bought the cheap one. But I also have a secondary one that I think is not cheap. I think it's like a late model. Well, but it looked new. Well, I don't know. I might have two cheap master cylinders, and I might just have to get the expensive master cylinder, and then maybe all my problems are gonna be fixed. And then the lines are like, I don't know, like $50 worth of like solid lines, and then maybe another $50 for all the flexible lines, and then it's like $400 for like the disc brakes for the back. So like, why am I dealing with discs in front and drums in the back? I might just change it all. You know what I mean? Like get a new master cylinder, all the lines, just do it all. You're talking about $600 or whatever. I'm gonna actually have some decent brakes. Um, but I don't know. I don't want to spend money. I don't have money. Can you please make a subject or a video about e-bike battery pack builds for a 48-volt system? Oh yeah, and that's one of the, I get a lot of requests for that. I have to do one day an e-bike video build. Too many projects. It's getting stuck like floats in the carburetor. Remember those? I went to the auto parts here, and I was going through the aisles, and I hate going to the store parts, okay? Because they never have what you need. They have everything else except what you want and need. But I was going through the aisles, and yeah, there was the copper floats for carburetors. There's like, I'm like, come on, this is all technology, man. Carburetor floats. Yeah, Sandir, sorry if I didn't. Oh my god, it just. Okay, sorry, Jehu. Okay, no. Our neighborhood is shady. All our neighbors have huge trees, so I don't always get constant sun on roof. So install solar panels as series or parallel. Oh, I see. Yeah, that's a tough one. I used to have my neighbor that had a tree, and it would just cast a shadow, and it just killed my. It just kills your production, right? So I have mine all in parallel. I have 8 panels, and they're in parallel. Oh, sorry, boy. So I think that would actually work better. I think there's a way that you can do them in series, right? Because series higher voltage systems run better, more efficient, and they're less expensive because you can get away with running thinner copper lines, right? You just have to make sure that each panel has a bypass diode. I think that's what it's called, bypass diode. So it's just a little diode that goes in between each of the solar panels, and when one gets shaded, then the current just kind of bypasses it. Yeah, once you see the diagram, you can kind of see it. So make sure, like, if your panels have bypass diodes, you could totally run them in series. And when one gets shaded, it's okay. The other ones will just push the power right to the other one. I mean, the system will dip because then you don't have the voltage of that one panel, right? So it'll go from, if your panels are 36 volts, and it'll be 36 volts less. And so then your system, if the system can't handle that very well, then you're still gonna take a hit in your production. But I think you can do it. I'd say you try it different ways. You just you plug it in one way, and then you plug it in another one, maybe using like temporary wire, something that you don't spend a lot of money or something, and then just try it and see which gives you best results. Yeah. You need another person to pump the pedal for the rear brakes to bleed properly. Drums brakes have the check valve that can be hard to push fluid past. Yeah, I was doing that earlier last week, and I was having my wife push it, and then I was like, my wife's not pushing them right. How I mean, I don't. How can someone not push them right? Right? I'm like, but I think she's not. So then I was like, started going in there and trying to, and I'm like, no, there's no way. There's nothing that she could be doing wrong. She's just pressing the pedal. Like, there should be pressure being built. You know what I mean? Like, suction bleeders leak air through the bleeder screw sometimes. Yeah, I think maybe that's what's happening. Because no, I'm going like and refilling the tank and the reservoir, and it just just air never stops. So maybe that's not the right way to do it. Kind of sucks. You're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Parallel with DC optimizers and compatible inverter, he says. Regenerative braking? Yeah, I have regenerative braking, but if it won't work if I can't pressurize the system, because the way it activates is by a transducer, right? So I install a transducer, it builds pressure, and I actually adjust it. Oh, by the way, that's going to change because now, I mean, hopefully not. Well, don't disc brakes require less pressure to brake the same amount of pressure? I don't know. All right, well, I guess we'll see. If I change the to disc instead of 600, okay, so I'm also changing and testing cells right now. How many of us are charging batteries right now? Yeah, I'm actually not right now. I just have those, like, those are just batteries that I used to run like things here and there. But now that I have 1,000, I'm gonna be popping those in there. I want to get some 8-year-old 18650 battery pack that has not been used for a while. I've tested some and they seem quite good. How many years more do you think they have left? Oh, a long. I I installed. I think at the time I installed them on my bus, they were like 6 years, 6-year-old cells, and they were like 5% degradation or whatever. Uh, Now they're nearing 10 years old, those cells, and I haven't done a thing, but I've lost no, uh, well, at least not noticeable, right? I guess I should do a test on my bus to see where we're at now. But I have a feeling that it's not much. I think your cells are gonna be good for a long time. At least mine are, and I can't be just an outlier. I'm just like everyone else. So, yeah, I think you'll be fine. Put them to work. Oh, Filler, you have this shirt too? Wow. What? By the way, why don't I have a shirt? One of my shirts. What's going on there? By the way, let me go say hi to Crystal. She's coming in. Let me, and then I'll have to leave after that. But quick little break.
So you want to build a DIY Powerwall. I'll show you how to do one. Using these as batteries and these as your inverter, you can build a small DIY Powerwall. Let's get going.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. How's everyone? Let's see. Wait, do you think it's possible to charge a 66.6? Oh man, that's a bad battery. That 666 battery? No, man. With an 84 volt charger? Well, yeah, you can. But if you don't turn it off at the right voltage, you're going to overcharge it, and then your batteries are going to get overcharged. Let's see. Yeah, supposedly if you put it on it, like surrounded it, then it can't breathe. So then it'll release. Although I don't know how long it will take. By the way, how long will it take for the tick to let go if once you put Vaseline on it? Oh, it sucks, right? Is it like the one that is? It's not the one like with bits over there.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not gonna burn his eyes.
Yeah, so that.
It's not Vaseline.
So it's right here. Hey, don't put it all over me.
Well, he has just one.
One big one there? Okay, we'll see. I think it'll be right away. I think that thing needs to breathe, right?
But I mean, I just did the line up in the middle. I don't even know if I got it.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it right now. The dogs haven't started having sex. Yeah. Let's see. Beal says get your wife to press the brakes about 6 times. Then keep down the pedal. You can then open the bleeder valve in the back of the drum cylinders until the foot goes to the floor.
What a great idea!
The problem is that when you pump the brakes, there's never any pressure. It never actually holds any pressure. It just goes all the way to the bottom. So when you open up the bleeder, there's like a tiny bit of liquid that comes through, but it's just no pressure. I can't get it to pressurize at all, so it just sucks. It sucks. They must be doing something terribly wrong, because brakes can't be that hard. Don't put Vaseline on the tick. Pull it out. Wait, I thought you said put Vaseline on the tick, and then it'll want to come out because it's gonna drown. Let's see. I'm not sure, Jill, but the push rod that goes in the master cylinder might be too short. No, I mean, I could totally adjust it. It's got like a little screw or whatever, and then, you press on the thing, and no, it works. It's the original one. It kind of works with all the thing, except the throw. It's shorter on this new master cylinder, on the one with the tool circuits. So it doesn't move as much as the old one. The old one is like, just pushes a lot. So maybe that's why it could pressurize so much more. Yeah, pull it. Well, so that's the thing, right? I'm like, just pull it. It'll die. Maybe the legs will stay there, the head will stay in there, and it'll still like suck or whatever, but it'll get infected or whatever. But you'll pull it out, it's done. Maybe you'll dig it out. Yeah, right. This guy doesn't even let me near it. It's right here. He doesn't let me touch his face to cut his hair. You know what I mean? Like, so that's another thing. I'm fighting with him because he's like, no, don't touch me there. Oh, I guess someone else said use Vaseline and it'll come out because it'll want to breathe. Someone said that, so I guess we just put a bunch of Vaseline on the tick. Ah, how do I post the link? Oh, I think Island Times can or post it. Doesn't it show it? I think if you post it, it'll show it to me as a link, and then I maybe I think I have the ability to allow it or not. Try it, or doesn't even let you post it. You can. There you go. I'm gonna have to tie him up because that dog doesn't let me cut its hair. I have to like fight with them. It's like a month-long process to cut his hair. So I just cut a little bit here and a little bit there, and then I trick him into letting me cut it over there. And then it's like, what is going on with that guy? We gotta work on another system. It's not good. So you guys should just pull it out manually. We do that to our local dog breed here in Nigeria all the time. Smiles. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I thought so, right? But some people are like, no, you got to take this medicine and they all fall off at the end. I'm like, why do you got to wait till they'll come? And by the way, the reason I'm saying that is because I have a project down in Mexico where I'm saving a bunch of dogs, and I'm working on a video for that. And yeah, oh my God, there's some of those dogs that have just completely covered in ticks. And the lady, I send her some tools so that she could take them off. And she's like, no, you gotta give them this medicine and then they will fall off. I'm like, or you could just pull them out. They're like giant ones. It's crazy. And my dog has a tiny one. I mean, it's like tiny. It's just like right there, right? Could get a floating harness. I think I'm gonna have to because I'm getting tired of fighting with them. Where is the Mauritius Island? Where is that? So your brother-in-law got a tick on his balls, really? Isn't that so? That's oh, another moderator just handled this. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, isn't like so the scary thing is that they can give you Lyme disease, right? Like ticks carry that Lyme disease. That's a terrible, terrible. I've been. I don't know if I told you guys. I saw that thing where people are afflicted, and a lot of them are crazy, like borderline crazy, and some of them are, they have real. I don't know. I mean, afflictions are afflictions. Either they're mental or physical. They're still afflictions, right? But I guess a lot of them are like they get diagnosed with Lyme disease. Like, oh yeah, your body is going crazy. You're like feeling sick all the time. It's like, oh yeah, it's a Lyme disease, and I guess it's really hard to diagnose it or whatever. I'm like, man, we don't want that. I don't know. I thought you were talking about brakes. We're talking about everything today. Indian Ocean. Oh, that's where those islands are. Oh man, yeah. I love islands. I'm gonna have to go over there one day. How to remove a tick. The first link, it's right from the CDC. It won't let me post the link, but I've used this method on my dog before. Oh, there you go. Oh, look at that. Show. There we go. You posted a link and it showed it. Look at that. In Australia, we have the paralysis ticks, which kill dogs and cats. What? They kill the dogs? Come on. That's not good. Yeah, they do. These guys are terrible. I'm a terrible dog owner. They bark whenever they want to. I can't control them yet. It's just terrible. I need to like put my foot down. Some alcohol and then pull the tick. Just don't make it explode in your face. Okay. Uh, have you checked out JBug disc brake conversion on YouTube? Yes, I have seen those videos. And then I got stuck watching all the videos. So I'm like, oh, how are they going to change the transmission? Oh, how are they going to do the thing? It's terrible that they don't have that many views, even though it's like a thing, right? I mean, it's a well, what was it, like a '60s bug, late '60s bug or what? I should totally do that with my bus, and then it would get more views, I think. Lyme disease can take 12 plus years to really take over. Great, great. So, but what are the odds, right? It's not like every single tick has it or does it. And well, first of all, where did my dog get the tick? That dog's inside the house all the time. Like he's here, underneath my desk. Like he never goes outside. I mean, there's been a couple times that he goes outside. I take him to the park. Oh, the park. I've taken him to the park. I bet you there he mingled with other dogs there. That's where he got it. It's been a while. So that means that tick's been there for a while. Hey Jay, have you considered using supercaps to charge them super fast and then drain the caps, charge into lithium batteries? I've thought about it, doing it just to make a video that gets a lot of views, because for some reason all the supercap videos get a lot of views. But other than that, no. Supercaps are terrible batteries. I love batteries. I don't like supercaps because they're expensive, they're hard to get, they're big, heavy, they're dangerous. Well, I don't know if they're dangerous. Well, they're dangerous. They can deliver that much power all at once. You know. Yeah, they're not. We don't. It's just, yeah, we don't need them. And we think we need all the things that they want. And by the way, there are applications where you do need them, but we basically are using batteries for storage, and well, we don't need any of the things that supercaps do for storing energy. So, I mean, if you wanted to have a small pack and then give it a lot of power to like start a big car or a tractor or something, which, by the way, I need to do. Let's see. I got sent this by one of these companies, Oracle. This is supposed to be 18 amp hours. Emergency jump starter. How many? 800 amps. Wait, peak current 800 amps. Start current 400 amps. 12 volts. 10 amps? What? This thing's supposed to be 800 amps. Come on. You guys believe that? Do you guys believe that? I don't know. I know it's got a LiPo battery inside, and I know LiPos can totally put out some power, but I don't know if 800. Ooh, look at that. We got lights. And look at this. It uses, I mean, oh, check it out. This one has an extra pin. So it uses one of these RC things, and then it uses one of these things so that, I think this is just like a relay so that you can't short it out, essentially, right? You press the little thing here, boost, what? Anyways, yeah. I think I gotta test this thing, take it apart, see what's in there, see how much we can load it up, short it out, see how much it puts out, you know what I mean? Anyways, so even, we don't need caps are great, I guess, for doing something like this, I guess. But other than that, we don't need them. I mean, even with this, we don't need them. There's LiPos. LiPos to the rescue. I've been meaning to, I gotta do this thing. Come on, alright, whatever. Is it work to make a single cell brick load bank? What's a single cell brick load bank? Single Cell brick load bank? What? Yes, my same question. We have ticks who carry, oh my god, encephalitis, brain inflammation, 1 in 10. Holy crap. Agnes. Wow. So ticks are really scary, right? I mean, you don't want those anywhere near you. You want to get rid of them. Removing a tick. Oh, there we go. This guy posted a link right here. Yes, I watch 18650 tick removal. Hey, what about nickel metal hydride batteries? Oh, nickel metal, they're terrible. I hate nickel metal hydride batteries. They're you just never know what they're doing. Are they charged? Are they not charged? What state of charge are they? Why don't they last long? It's just I hate them. Supercaps are how Russia powers their public transportation buses. There you go. See, if you can have a charging station in every stop or every so miles or whatever, you could have a little battery that can power your bus from that stop to that stop. Plus, a little bit more just in case. And then once it gets there, and in the time that passengers get off and passengers come in, it charges those caps. And then you're on your way to go to the next stop. Totally. That's a very useful way to do it instead of carrying a big giant battery pack that has to store all that energy to be able to do the entire route. If you can charge your battery really quickly at every stop, then you just need a small battery. Boom. That's one good use to use them. Mazda hybrid are using supercaps in their vehicles, so there must be a space for them in the industry, not to mention the massive cycle life of the supercaps. Yeah, I mean, there are. I think there are some people are using them to power like. Yeah, right. Aren't they using them to power like turbochargers? Right. So instead of using the engine to spin up or the the gases, the exhaust of an engine to spool up a turbo, they'll just use an electric motor and supercaps, and that thing just spools up like really quickly, and then you have instant power, so there's no lag. And yeah, that's another great way, because who needs to have a giant battery just to get that, and then it'll just charge it. And I think they're low voltage. It'll charge it from the car, every in the next in 30 seconds or whatever, is like fully charged, ready to go. If you step on it again, then it just spools up that thing again. And totally, there's a bunch of applications, just none of the applications that we're using. Battery storage for DIY power volts, we don't need them. It was a dog for us. Oracle seems to have decent products when it comes to USB hubs. I have 4 of their USB 3 hubs installed in my car. In your car? Oh yeah. So, by the way, Oracle's really close by here where I'm at. Their headquarters are here. And I talked to the guys that run it or whatever, and they wanted me to do some videos for them and stuff. At the end, it didn't quite work. But they gave me that, so I think I need to try it and see what's up. All right, the dogs have started. Look at them. Get away, dog! You have disease. You have disease on you. Did you take it out already? All right, never mind. Okay. Jay, those jump starts are rated at high capacity on the box, but run a test on the cells inside, probably a lot less. Run 3.5 amp hours, 11.1 3S application. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. And the 800 amps is probably going to turn out to be like 200 amps. Something like that. 800 peak for a millisecond. Oh, it's still there, boy. It's still there. Let's cut it off. You want me to cut it off? Oh, oh. Stop moving. Stop moving around. Let me cut it. Ah! Get away from me. I'm gonna use this to cut it. I'll use the things, right? I'll do it after. I don't want to kill my dog in front of you guys and then, have to go to jail and stuff. Chris fixed videos on brakes. There we go. Someone else had said that. I don't know if it was you. The jump pack appears to be an EC5 connector. You will have to bypass the provided jumpers to short it out. These tests have been done. That's why I have the MicroStart XP10. Ooh, is that one of the good ones? MicroStart XP10? Why do you think 1860s are not in the mainstream, like in your TV remote, rechargeable lamp, and many other simple applications that can make a lot of difference? Is there a conspiracy? No, I think the reason is they were never really designed for consumer electronics, right? Because they're no different than pouch cells, but I think they're just not easily designed to be like every other lithium battery in consumer electronics just has a BMS built in, right? So these ones are kind of hard because they're cylindrical. So where's the other one? I mean, they did make some where they had them like at the very end. They had like a little, I've seen pictures of it. I actually never seen one in real person, like a BMS board, a protection board on a single cell. But they did exist at one point. So they did try to make them, for consumer electronics, but it's just I don't think it was designed for that, right? It was mainly a laptop cell, and then it turned into power tool cell, and now it's become an electric vehicle cell, and now they're jumping into the 2170s. So now I don't know what's going to be the future of the 18650s. I would suspect that they're going to be phased out. I think the pouch batteries are going to be with us for a long time because those are in every single phone and every single laptop and every other, consumer electronic device. That's where all the innovation is happening. That's where the best batteries right now are in the LiPo, form factor. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before the 18650s go away. It's just, we don't need them anymore. We have better ones. We have 21700s. These are going to start coming in, and they're going to be good. These are going to be awesome. Eventually, one day, hopefully, well, I don't know. I was going to say hopefully not too soon, but well, maybe yes, maybe soon. Maybe I'm going to be redoing my bus battery and taking out these old 3600 milliamp hour cells, putting these 5000 milliamp hour cells. Because you think about it, they're not that different in size. I mean, it's almost the same battery, 30% bigger, but 30% capacity, right? Yeah. Let's see. What do you? Yeah. So I read that one, right? Can you explain the C rating on lithium ion? I currently charge everything at 1 amp. So the 1C is 1 capacity, 2 C is 2 capacity. So whatever the capacity of the cell is, that's a 1C rating. If it's a 3 amp hour cell, then a 1C rating is 3 amp hours or 3 amps. Yeah. What happened to my comment? I don't know. What happened to your comment? Indeed, an electric supercharger using supercaps works well. Peak, high discharge, and quick charge time. Crimp Daddy, the C rating. Yeah, so there's I don't know what's going on here. Oh my God, there's 162 watching right now. Wow. I guess a lot of you guys are just like me. You have no life. Friday nights are just spent here in the computer. But then we party hard on the weekend, right? Is that what's happening? Like we're gonna all just hit the clubs, hit the dance floors, right? We're gonna go on vacation, go to the beach, uh, go cruising. If you're if you're in Whittier, California, then you're gonna go cruising down Whittier Boulevard with your Ramfla, with your nice lower car, right? Is that what we're doing here? Uh, I get a hold of a wreck leaf, a wreck leaf. Um, have you tried the LiFePo 4 18650 battery? Yes, I have some of those. I have some. I need to do something with them. It's not cool. Look at this. Yoku. I guess. Well, there's not a lot of these left. I think they're sold out. So I'm like, I should have done a full test on these guys to see, what does it say? Yoku LFP or LPO FPO. 1500 milliamp hours, 3.2 volts. Yoku. Yes, these are lithium iron phosphate 18650s. So they do exist. They're just not very popular. And I guess if you can find them cheap, I'd get them, because you would be able to use them. If I'm not mistaken, the Micro Start XP10 did 600 amps for about 30 seconds. That was a real consumer test, and the XP10 did better than other well-known brands he tested. Oh, there you go. So they use high quality lipos, basically. And by the way, you can make one of these. All you have to do is get a 3S lipo. You know, they make lipos like 100C lipos. So yeah, what's 100C? So if you get like one of the bigger ones would be, so let's say you get a 25 to a 2.5 amp hour 3S lipo, right? That does 100C. Well, that's 250 amps. Wow. So yeah, so you can. I mean, even if you were to get a 5 amp and it's a 100C lipo, it's still 500 amps. So yeah, you can't. You won't. You're not gonna be doing. Is there like even higher? I mean, I think, right. I think I've seen like 120C lipos, but then a 5 amp hour lipo, it's pretty big. It's a big chunky battery. Like this thing, I'm pretty sure this thing doesn't have that. What's the capacity on this guy? Oh, 1800 milliamp hours. Oh, this is a 1.8. Yeah, I mean this is thin. Like, I mean, it's got all kinds of these safety electronics and stuff in here. So let's see. 1.8. Yeah, so it's only 180. So you're saying these guys are claiming they have like a 200C lipo on here. Come on. I think I'm going to have to take this apart and play with it. I bet you it's not going to be... Yeah, it's not... Yeah, you need a 200 amp just to get the 400 that they're talking about. Ooh. Cyphern. Thank you for the $5. What do you think about popping the CID on cells that show 0 volts? I've seen some say it's fine with IMR, INR, but not ICR. I wondered why they would say that. Why would they differentiate? Oh, maybe because one chemistry will degrade more on an event. Because basically the cell had to get really hot to pop that CID, right? So if one chemistry is prone to get more damage on an event like that, I guess maybe that's what they were like. Well, you can fix it on these other chemistries that they can withstand, an event of like overheating much better than another one. Yeah, I have a bunch of them. I have a bunch of Sanyos that are 0 volts, and I actually have a box full of Sanyos, all that I already drilled and I already popped it back on. So I could do some tests on those batteries and then see what they do, see how they respond. See how many of those are heaters, how much cycle. You know what I mean? Like if I can get like a pack that like they're match and then just run it like against like another pack. You know what I mean? Like it's like another pack that's similar, but that never had that CID blow at one point, and then put it up against each other, see how they perform on different tests, load tests and stuff. Yeah, it'd be an interesting video. Yeah, and I have cells to do that. I have boxes. Well, maybe I have a box. Maybe I have a couple hundred or something that were like that. And I remember like drilling the little holes, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna push it in, and then see, and then I just left them there. They're in my garage. They're in boxes and stuff, and I just have to see. Hey, what is wrong with my lights? They've not turned themselves off yet. What? That is true. I don't know. Maybe my neighbor got tired of it and got rid of his system. He he got tired of me turning his lights off. Uh, that must be some. What is the type of marking of the wire everybody used to connect motor with controller? The orange one. It's a welding cable. Uh, what is it? 1/0, 2/0. I'll send you a link so you can get the better specs. But yeah, welding. You definitely want a welding cable because since it's so thick, right? I mean, and if you're running a high voltage system, you don't need it that thick. You can do 1 or 2 gauge. Oh, that's that one over there. Where's the cables? But if you're doing low voltage systems, sort of like us, that we're doing like under 150 volts, then you're gonna need the thick one. And like the welding one it's so much easier to use than the other one. If you're in Europe, you're gonna have to get the one that is what? It's got shielding on it. Wiring and parts. Here we go. Cable related. Here we go. 1/0, 1-0, American wire. This is the one that I have on my bus. It's really cool. How much is it? What does it say? Oh, come on. $5.25 per foot. It's not cheap. But it's not as expensive as the other one that I had. I used to have shielded cable, which I still have it in a box there. That was like $10 or something a foot. And then I spent like $600 just wiring my bus or some crazy amount just in wire. Hey, what happened to my water cooling experiment that you tried? Did you get what? And did you get my mail showing you I did? Oh yes, you. I did get your email. I'm still going. Actually, I haven't worked on that project yet, but I am gonna get to it. I think sometime this month. I'm gonna get back on making videos. I took a break because I had to take care of a bunch of other stuff that I needed to take, so that I don't go to jail because the government, you know. I just had to take some stuff, to fix some loose ends that I had, my Lidocawa LG M26. Oh, LG M26. What? You have a Lidocawa MG26. LG M26. Are they purple like this? It is a 0.5C. So that means 1250 milliamp hours. No, milliamp hours? So it should be charging at 1.2 amps, right? Wait, what? Oh, it's a 2500 milliamp hours. Oh, so you're saying half a C. Yeah, half a C. Yeah, so you're talking about 1.2 amps. Yeah. Yeah. I had trouble. And Crimp Daddy agrees. Is it possible to build a lithium battery bank that is equivalent or better than a deep cycle battery to be used with the solar backup power source? I have to read that again. Is it possible to build a lithium battery bank that is equivalent or better? Yeah, in every way. Even price, even cost now, right? I mean, we're actually doing battery builds at lead acid battery prices. Yeah, so I mean, you can use more of the energy. They're more energy dense. They're more power dense. Well, lead acid could push some power too. Cycle life is better. Yeah, everything is good. Yeah, it's just maybe not as easy to install because they don't come in big giant. Although they do come. What am I talking about? You can get for $110, $120 a kilowatt hour. You can get Fiat batteries. By the way, I keep pushing those batteries. I never haven't made a video about it. This month I'm gonna make a video about them, and then you guys are gonna see how easy it is to connect those things. Unfortunately, they only work for 36 volts and 48 the way they come because they come in 5S and 6S. But if you can use a 48 volt system, and that's what you want to do with lithium, with lead acid, yeah, these batteries will just kick the lead acid's battery rear end in every possible way. They're cheaper, they last longer, they're smaller, they're lighter, they can push 600 amps. Yeah, those things are amazing. For new videos coming soon. I love the show and videos. I compulsively bought a BMW i3 after you mentioned it on your show. It is a fun car, but even though I have the Rex, I wish 2015s had the bigger battery. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was the thing. Yeah, those cars are amazing. When I rode on it, I'm like, I want one of these, except for the fact that, like, oh, but I can't go very far on it. And yeah, so what's the Rex? Is that the range extender? Yeah, right. But it's like a kind of a wimpy range extender, right? It's like a motorcycle motor in the back or something. Yeah, it's like, come on, BMW, do something better. Lead acid is like trying to get with fat chicks when you could be hitting some lithium ladies. There you go. You couldn't have said it better. When they make the larger cells with the capacities that 18650s come in today, then we can talk. That's crazy. All right, guys, 3 more minutes, and then we'll call it quits here. Tom Hanover says, I was just a vid showing the system filling. I'm a little more camera shy than Jehu. Oh, that was for somebody else, right? So we have 18650, 2170s, 31120s. What other type do we have, and what is the major difference? Well, we have the pouch cells. Oh, we have these weird ones that are like oval, so they're like the size of 2 cells. Oh wait, did you put the 21? Yeah, did you put the 21s? Oh, and between those, we also have the 2700s. Slightly different. Slightly bigger than 18650s, but slightly smaller than 21700s. Why? I don't know. They just decided to make that. They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes, by the way. 18, 500s, 18 350s, I think. They're like little, yeah, they just, whatever you need to fit them on. And they're mostly the same chemistries, the same group of chemistries. Have you heard or read about nickel iron batteries? They are supposedly indestructible. It should last 50 plus years. No, I haven't really heard too much about them. It's not worth looking for 18650s here with 38 120s at this price. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you have access to those, use those, man. Batteries are batteries. 18650s are, amazing batteries. What's this guy eating? What are you eating? What is this? Oh, come on. He's just. Come on. You have your toys, man. Come on. Don't make me beat you up in front of my friend. What was I saying? Make larger bricks of 32650, and the voltage is much more stable. The pouches are very weird. I tried to tear down one, but seems they come out with the wires all attached and sandwiched in the cell. Yeah, some of them are kind of weird. Yeah, 18650s were great because they are abundant. So, and they're really high quality because they're mass produced in the millions. So that's a great thing. You definitely can get other batteries that are different form factor, but they're usually going to be like in smaller batches, and that's going to take a toll in the quality control of it. So 18650s are the way to go if you can get them, and most of the times you can. Almost in every market, they're going to be available. Love your videos, and you open me up to a whole new hobby. Wow, there you go. Just don't let it get the best of you. Don't be like me and just have a room full of batteries. This isn't a hobby, it's a way of life. I researched nickel iron batteries. They're huge. They do last forever, but they are huge and heavy. They might be great for storage, like the salt batteries, the saltwater batteries also. Yeah, definitely, but 18650s are like great. Anybody could get them. A lot of you guys are finding them for free, next to free. A lot of you guys are actually finding like great cells. I actually, when I was trying to collect some used ones, they were, I think like 50% were good, 50% were bad, and I was having trouble finding enough of the 2000 milliamp hour ones. Some of you guys are like finding 2600 milliamp hours somehow, right? So definitely 18650s are the way to go for most of you guys. There are some specific, didn't you offer Salamandrin to electrify his beetle? Well, I did. I posted a comment. I don't know if he read it. That guy's, he's a big YouTuber. I get ignored by the big YouTubers. I get ignored by the little YouTubers too. Yeah, there are some locations where you'll be able to find different sources, like in Australia, where Island Times lives, for example, right? He has access to those headway cells. Every other cells that we have out here is just too expensive to send, and well, in a lot of cases, just flat out illegal to send them to him. But he's got access to those, so use those batteries. Anyone have recommendations on compact 12-volt batteries? Looking for something decent to add to my car PC as a buffer. The system at most pulls 130 watts at any give time. Yeah, 12 volt is problematic. You can use lithium iron phosphate cells, but again, there's not a bunch of them. I mean, actually, are these sold out already? The headways? I haven't checked in a while. I had these here, and I thought I was gonna make a video just to so I can get people to do the thing. But let's see. Let me see. What does the thing say? batteries. Here we go. Are the headways sold out? Here we go. Click on it. View on eBay. Yeah, right. They gotta be sold out. Come on, man. Yeah, this listing below has been updated by the seller, but you can see it, the purchase here. 0 available. Yeah, man, he sold 2,000 of those. 2,000 times 4, what is that? That's a lot of sales, right? Well, 2 times 4 is what, 8? So 8,000? Yeah, he sold 8,000 of these batteries. Wow. And I think he had another, he might have had another listing where there's like 20 of them or something. So he sold way more than that. So I have these ones here. I'll make a video and I'll publish it whenever they become available again. They're becoming available every few months or whatever. But that would be one way to make a battery. 4 of those will give you, yeah, definitely a nice little buffer because they can put out the power. Why has 18350 price not adjusted? I don't know. What is the 18350? Do you use DigiKey much? I did for a while whenever I'm like ordering parts to do like projects and stuff, but not too much. They're kind of expensive. LiPo4 lasts longer though, and the cell voltage during heavy load stage at or around its normal volts. The drain drops quickly, letting you know they're dead. Actually, I don't really like the lithium iron phosphate that much because the voltage doesn't change much. I'm now much more used to lithium cobalt oxide, right? Because the variance is a lot, it's wider, so I can tell. You know what I mean? Like I can tell where my battery's at a little bit more with lithium cobalt oxide. With lithium iron phosphate, I could never tell where my batteries were at by the voltage. You couldn't. There's no difference. Could be 20% state of charge or 80% state of charge. The voltage was like 1/10 of the difference. You know what I mean? So that was kind of weird. I got used to it, right? But when I switched over to lithium cobalt oxide, I kind of like it better. I'm getting used to this thing, and I like these batteries better. They just they kind of drop. Their voltage drops more linearly, I think, and it comes less as a surprise when you run out of battery. Although every once in a while it happens. Like last time, I just got on the card, never even checked. So, let's see. Did you just use a calculator? Yes, I didn't go to school. Stop making fun of me. I don't know maths, okay? Greetings, Nigeria, greeting Greece. All in this our small Jehu world. Wow. Yeah, it's a wide world audience tonight that we have here. We have everyone. I find LiPo4 bounces back more predictably, to be honest. Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's, yeah, I think you're just probably used to it. I think I got used to lithium cobalt oxide easier, like, and now I find it much more comfortable to look at a voltage and be like, yeah, that's what those batteries are doing. I know what they're doing. If you are always pushing the limits of your build, then yes, use temp sensors. If it's much bigger than temp sensors, I don't think you need one. 86, sorry, I was thinking by now the Tesla cells were going to drop prices. Well, they were going to, but now they're not, right? Because now they changed form factors, and now the 18650s are going to start disappearing. I mean, they're like, they're going to be made for a long time, I think, but at least for a few years, maybe 5 years or so. But then everything's going to change, I think, to the 21700s. and the pouches. Pouches are gonna be good. I think eventually one day I'll be like, forget these ones. Let's do the pouches because they're so awesome. Because it's like the energy. Well, no, it's always gonna transfer the energy density. Yeah, all the innovation goes on the pouches, right, for the consumer electronics. But all that technology is just, trickles down to the 18650 all the cylindrical cells. So I have 300 of those use LiPo 4, 26650s. They are at about 40%. Use sure what to do with them. Not sure what to do with them. They are 70 amp discharge, but not much capacity left. About 50 to 60%. Oh, are you talking about the A123s? The green ones? These guys? Make a 12-volt battery. Make a 12-volt battery and sell it to one of these guys that want to use a 12-volt battery. Lithium. Yeah, these things are great for that. Yeah, they're not very energy dense, so it's a big battery. They're not heavy, but they're big. So, yeah, that's why I really like them that much. And they're kind of scary. It's 70 amps each. You add a few of them, you add 10 of them in a row, you're like looking at 700 amps. That's scary. All right, guys. 11 p.m. here in California. I'm sure you guys are. It's a much more, or it's later. It's so late for some of you guys that it's even tomorrow. We're getting ready to go to bed here. You guys are just getting ready to. Well, you're halfway through your days. In some places, right? Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for talking about batteries and stuff. We'll see you guys in the next video. It's gonna get interesting from here on. I think first 1,000 cells for my bus. We're gonna start designing a new PCB board. Of course, I have to finish the video for that one, and then get everyone on board to start buying it. Right now, it's nice. It's cool because there's a few of you guys that are buying all the PCBs and are starting to build them stuff, but it's not kind of getting out of hand. It's not like the world is not just like. So I think once I make this video, it's gonna get crazy, and people are gonna start buying them and building the power walls, which is good. But then at that point, then we're gonna be moving on to the next one, and it's gonna be for the bus, which I think you're gonna be able to use those for power walls too. So it's gonna be good. All right, guys, have a good night or good day, depending on where you're at in the world. We'll see you guys in the next video. All right? Thank you.